This is the third time that has happened. Some miscommunication with just the play calling early in the first half. It was a lot of big personnel substitutions, not just one guy, but 2-3 guy packages coming on and off the field, and that led to a lot of misused timeouts because of that. And once again, in the second half, they have to take one because the clock wound down and Park was not able to diagnose and get the snap off.
Our chance to talk about Matt Campbell in his first year here in Ames. Look at the youngest head coaches in the FBS. 36 years old. He is the youngest Power 5 head coach. Previous 4 years, head coach at Toledo. Built a very good program there. Former player and coach at Division III powerhouse Mount Union. Number of coaches on his staff he played with in college.
It'll be interesting to see where PJ Fleck from Western Michigan ends up. As we talked a little bit earlier about this coaching carousel, he's a hot coach right now.
On 2nd and 10, Park steps up, fires a bullet, complete to Dondre Daly out towards midfield. Picks up 22 on the play. That'll move the chains. Daly's first catch.
Well, another reason why they like Park as a quarterback is, as a young player, he has this great sense of just understanding his progressions, reading the coverage from left to right, and he hits him right there with a nice strike to Daly.
Park able to step up and is knocked away. Looking this time for Trevor Ryan. Rasul Douglas, we spent a lot of time earlier today talking about Douglas, one of the best defensive backs of the nation.
Well, and again, a nicely thrown ball. Really should have been completed. But Rasul Douglas, again, second leading interceptor in the country with 7, has tremendous ability to get to the football. And he got there in time just to knock that ball out. But a nice throw, good velocity for Jacob Park.
On 2nd and 10, they stay on the ground with Montgomery. Montgomery a loss of 2 with Chuku coming in to help put the brakes on Montgomery.
And Wachuku, that's the second time we've called his name. Hadn't called his name this whole game so far. Batted down a pass. Now he steps up big in the run game. A guy that didn't even play football until his junior year in high school has been an impressive player here in West Virginia.
3rd and 12 at the 47. Pumping, now throwing, and incomplete. Haven't looked much towards Justin Chandler today. These 3 catches all season, none the last 7 games. Can't connect to bring up 4th and long.
Yeah, not exactly the outlet guy that you would think is going to catch that ball, turn upfield, and pick up a long 12-yard, 3rd down conversion. Like you said, Justin Chandler really known for his blocking, good blocker on the inside, not really known as a pass catcher, especially running after the catch.
Brings on Downing to punt things away. Jennings standing with heels on his own 10. Signaling for a fair catch. Just inside the 15. Stops the clock. 5:56 left in the 3rd quarter. West Virginia, the number 18 team of the country, leading 28-19. This is it for Iowa State. Their season ends today, trying to finish on a high note of what would be a 3-game winning streak. Meanwhile, West Virginia, after the disappointing loss in Morgantown amidst the snow last Saturday, only a 2-loss team, 8-2 their only losses. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, the 2 teams that'll battle without a bedlam for the Big 12 title. And for a season this year for Dana Holgorsen and West Virginia that entered with not great expectations, an 8-win campaign, a chance today for a 9th, awfully impressive.
Well, you mentioned those 2 losses they had. You even go back to this Oklahoma game last week in the snow, kind of took them out of their game. Skylar Howard didn't throw the ball effectively, but really was about the turnovers. They drove the ball. They had a ton of yards against Oklahoma, but put the ball on the ground twice inside the 5.
Howard keeping this the whole way past midfield after he faked the handoff to Petaway. Howard having a big night with his legs. 38 yards on that carry before Lewis knocks him out of bounds.
Well, they get the pulling guard to come around. That's Tony Mateo at left guard. They get him pulled around, kind of a quarterback power off that read. And we talk about his athleticism, just He's not a dynamic runner, but he's good enough to be a weapon.
First down from the 48. Howard to pass. Heaves it out towards the sideline. A long throw. That time finding Marcus Sims, who hauled in the 48-yard touchdown catch in the first half. This one good for 17.
Well, and he was even looking to the left, trying to get Shelton Gibson again on another deep pass, but they doubled him. And because of the time and the blocking up front, he's able to scan the field all the way from his left to his right to find Sims.
Petaway and Wellman in the backfield. Justin Crawford only 7 carries before an injury in the first half to his lower body. Has been out ever since. Petaway cuts upfield. He's having a very impressive day. Picks up 3. He's well over 100 yards. Willie Harvey, leading tackler for Iowa State, pulls him down.
And Iowa State tries to guess right. They brought a boundary blitz from the offensive right side, and West Virginia runs away from it.
Big hole for Petaway once again. Met at the 15. Oh, we saw Kennedy McCoy, a 3-yard touchdown run early in the first quarter. McCoy, of course, injured on the first play from scrimmage in last week's game against Oklahoma, an ankle injury. We have not seen McCoy since that touchdown, really. Shell is out. Crawford is out. Although he started today, it has been Petaway with his first action this season.
And they really haven't dropped off. I mean, the talent is there, and it's easy for West Virginia.
Petaway at the 10. And hit firm. Kane Seeley after a pickup of 8. They're just ripping off chunks of yards. First quarter on the ground, West Virginia averaged 3 yards per carry. In the second quarter, 8 yards per carry. You can see the door opening up wider and wider.
And I think these guys up front are kind of mashing on this Iowa State defense and just softening things up.
Petaway just shy of the goal line.
And then you have a big, powerful running back in Martell Petaway. It's making a long day for these second and third level defenders for Iowa State, trying to tackle this big back that won't go down on first contact. Personnel issues right now. There's 8 seconds on the play clock. We have to burn a timeout here for West Virginia.
And they do. We'll step aside as well. Skylar Howard and this West Virginia offense knocking at the door here in the third quarter.
Alexa, put Butterfly Birthday on my calendar for August 23rd.
Okay.
You don't think I'm crazy, but I'm having conversations.
Who did you write the letter to?
I wrote the letter to death.
Nice to meet you.
Nope. When my daughter was dying, I wrote letters to death, love, and time.
I'm time. You wrote me because you need me.
Oh, love. Don't try and live without me, Howard.
Nothing's ever really gone, if you look at it right.
Will Smith, Collateral Beauty, rated PG-13.
Faster, faster, faster.
On that old PC?
You should retire that too.
You know.
I know. New PCs are lightning fast to play 4K video.
And yet here is the world's fastest swimmer on the world's slowest computer.
You know about it. Now do something about it. Upgrade to a new PC powered by Intel.
So why haven't you upgraded?
It keeps me humble.
Hi! Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. Spread sunshine all over the place. And put on a happy face.
NASCAR Race Hub on FS1.
We'll bring you the stories and highlights that matter. NASCAR Race Hub at its new time, weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1.
Go is changing the way people look at sports. Watch all the games and shows on FS1 Live on your devices. Download now and get going, included with your subscription.
West Virginia a yard away from pay dirt, already leading 28-19 here in the third quarter. Well, coming up next, UFC Fight Night. Have two top 10 middleweights, both on impressive winning streaks, but only one will be left standing. Number 7 ranked Robert Whittaker faces number 8 Derek Brunson, plus an exciting young fighter from Australia. Jake Matthews takes on Andrew Holbrook. UFC Fight Night. You won't want to miss it next on FS1, or of course you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. You nailed that. Much easier than most FS1. UFC Fight Night reads. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Ben Lieber. First and goal for the one for Skyler Howard and West Virginia. Pettaway a chance for his first touchdown. And he moves early.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Maybe he knew he was a yard away from it too.
You think Pettaway was going to get this ball? He's dotting the I. Oh, I'm a little too anxious.
Third false start for the Mountaineers tonight. Making out first and goal to the 6. Pettaway stays in there. They hand to Pettaway. Inside the 5 and then right away. Picks up just 2. Mitchell Myers along with Brunel Trent.
And unfortunately, if that was the play call they were going to go with on the first time they tried it, that would have been good enough for a touchdown for Pettaway. But got a little too anxious. Had to move him back.
Would have needed just 1. Picked up 2. Second and goal from the 4. Pettaway seeing his first action of the season today because of the injury to Crawford. Lunges forward, and Pettaway is in for the touchdown, the first of his young career. This has been a remarkable showing today for Martell Pettaway. Did not have a carry. Justin Crawford injured early in the first quarter, and all Pettaway has done is come off the bench, run for over 100 yards, and now score.
Well, virtually the same play this time from shotgun, and he deserves that touchdown for as much work as he's put in today and as hard as he's run. He deserved to get the ball on that spot to get his first touchdown, just powering through that right side with the lead blocker.
Molina makes this a 35-19 West Virginia lead here in Ames, Iowa. And Pettaway having a monster day. The freshman getting his first carries and making them count.
Alexa, put Butterfly Birthday on my calendar for August 23rd.
Okay.
You talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots like they're like your kids.
That's the hottest seat in sports media. This is undisputed.
Or get 0% financing for 72 months on select remaining 2016 Silverado double caps in stock. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Pettaway with 20 carries on the night, 138 yards, and he punches it in. Just a few yards out. Averaging nearly 7 yards a carry. 8 plays, 86 yards for the Mountaineers. A drive that took under 3.5 minutes. Almost everything was on the ground. Just one pass attempt from Howard. At the 30, knocked out of bounds. Right now we will head back to Los Angeles. Once again, we say hi once more to Mike Hill for a game break. Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to tell you about Adoree Jackson because he is going off against Notre Dame for USC. He's got a punt return for a TD, a receiving TD, and here on the kickoff return, look at that. Over a defender, and he's gone. 97 yards, 291 all-purpose yards, 3 scores for Jackson. Trojans up 38-21 in the fourth, and yeah, give him the Heisman pose. USC looking for their 8th straight win, fellas.
Wow. But a tough start to the season for the Trojans. And Adoree Jackson, a big reason why they've been able to come out of it.
It's not a bad stat line.
First and 10 from the 30. It continues to be Jacob Park and Jacob Park alone as he finds Lazard for the first time since halftime. 3 catches for 96 yards in the first half. This one good for 7. We spent all this time been talking about the 2 quarterback setup for Iowa State. Jacob Park, Joel Lanning. And we have seen Lanning for 1 snap, a snap that resulted in a touchdown run, but it was whacked away because of a couple of Iowa State penalties. Montgomery on 2nd and 3, slips a tackle, gets a first down, stays on his feet. Montgomery down the sideline, now loses the ball, and it is recovered by West Virginia. Second turnover today by Iowa State. Maurice Fleming falls on top of it.
It is so hard to be critical of David Montgomery on this run. Look at the strength, look at the effort, the speed. You love everything, just fighting for yardage. But when you're stiff-arming with your offhand, you still have to keep that ball secured and tucked up against your chest. It is much easier said than done. And Rasul Douglas, who had a key pass breakup earlier in the game, comes from behind and again just punches that ball out. But man, oh man, I love the effort from David Montgomery. He just couldn't hold on the ball. He's fighting for extra yardage.
Took it on the ground for 45 yards before Douglas stripped it. Of course, Douglas with 7 interceptions on the season, this time forcing the fumble as Pettaway continues to add to his very impressive day.
Well, a guy that was key on that touchdown for Pettaway is Elijah Wellman, number 28. Once again comes up big on an interior block. They've asked a lot of him. The running backs have went down in game before. They've asked him to step up and run the ball. But when he doesn't do that, he's their key guy on the inside to block a lot of linebackers and a lot of end man on the line of scrimmage.
Pettaway slipping free. Pettaway just churning up yards today here in Iowa. This one on the ground for 23 before Cotton Moya tracks him down. Is a very realistic chance today of 200 yards. Tries to cut up field, met right away. Jaquan Bailey there. He started the last 6 games. This time they hold him to just 3 yards.
And this is where the tempo of a lot of teams really starts to wear down the defense because you've been on the field a lot. They've been hitting you for big plays, and then they start grinding out later in the game, running the ball, hitting you in the mouth, and they don't give you any time to get readjusted, to catch your breath. But they're doing that now, they're huddling now, but that's the dangerous thing about these teams like West Virginia, where you can start running the ball with tempo, really wears out a defense.
Stacked receivers both sides. A draw. Howard is wrestled down. Here comes the flag. He's getting a little chippy. Johnston Thomas in there.
There's no foul on the play for grabbing the helmet opening. The player grabbed the back of the jersey. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. Timeout on the field.
3rd sack by this Iowa State defense as that completes 3 quarters here at Ames. West Virginia, the number 18 team of the country, looking for their best season since joining the Big 12, looking to go to 9-2 on the campaign. We come back with the 4th quarter from Iowa in just a moment.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm having conversations.
Who did you write the letter to?
I wrote the letter to death.
Nice to meet you.
Nope. When my daughter was dying, I wrote letters to death, love, and time.
I'm time. You wrote me because you need me.
I'm love. Don't try and live without me, Howard.
Nothing's ever really gone, if you look at it right.
Will Smith, Collateral Beauty. Rated PG-13.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face.
For the first time, a woman has taken the mound in a Major League Baseball game.
If you missed an episode of Pitch, watch anytime on Fox Now.
Welcome to Devil Time.
What are you doing?
Trying out my new catchphrase.
If you missed an episode of Lucifer,
Your mom escaped hell?
Yes. Oh, sure. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
then watch it anytime on Fox Now.
It's the top-ranked contenders fighting for a title. It's the crosstown rivals that will never back down.
It's about to go down.
It's the crowd roaring.
Watch out.
It's your heart pounding.
That is the one.
It's each juke, each down, each drive that makes college football yours.
Rule every Saturday, college football on Fox and FS1.
All new Wednesday. The Ultimate Fighter Tournament of Champions is down to the final two.
This is going to be an unbelievable war.
The Japanese Shudo Master
He gets your back and then he submits you.
takes on the Titan FC Beast.
The pressure's on. This is do or die.
Who will be the next Ultimate Fighter?
Get up, come on.
And face a legend.
The baddest 125-pounder on the planet.
Who do you like in this fight?
Get on it!
Don't miss the last episode of The Ultimate Fighter, Wednesday at 10 on FS1.
Scholarship. My name is Skylar Howard, and I'm a champion for life.
Glad you could join us here in Ames, Iowa. Final game of the season for Iowa State at 3-8. Meanwhile, West Virginia trying to pick up their 9th win of the season. On 3rd and 12. Howard setting up the screen to Petaway. Petaway breaking free. Spinning forward, and you just cannot bring him down with the first effort.
You know you can't do it, and a nice setup. They guessed right, thinking Iowa State was going to be in man. They were. They took the double stack, or the stacked receivers, ran them off the field, which cleared out that whole left side of the offense, and he just dumped the ball down to your big bruising running back and let him go out there and pick up the first down.
Good for 25 yards. Gibson a couple of catches, his last for 71 yards, a touchdown strike. Petaway this time bottled up at the 40. Loses 3. Regan Northrup, sophomore out of Jacksonville.
Well, there's Northrup right there. Outside linebacker. Just shoots the gap. Read the high hats. That gap opened up, and he just pulled the trigger and went downhill. A backup linebacker doesn't get a lot of snaps, but getting a lot more run lately. Again, this coaching staff is trying to find the right mix going into next season. A lot of young guys getting a lot of precious game time snaps.
2nd and 13 from the 40. Howard trying to dial it up deep. Underthrows his man, and Gibson is able to haul it in for a second touchdown. This one for 40 yards. Talk about an adjustment.
That's all it was. A slightly underthrown ball. Cotton Moyle was actually in good coverage, but it was Shelton Gibson that just turns the exact same route that he got on that 71-yard touchdown. That little inside-out move going down the field makes a nice adjustment on an underthrown ball. Hits him for another score.
4th touchdown pass from the senior Skylar Howard. And West Virginia has really blown this one open now with 13:37 left to play. Molina makes it 42-19. Gibson has 3 catches, 2 for scores, 71, this time 41.
You'll see Howard staying in the pocket, taking a big hit right there from Northrup, who made the play earlier. And then Cotmoy in the coverage once again on Shelton Gibson. Same matchup that Gibson had on that 71-yarder. And again, watch just a little, it's that little bit of a inside move right there. And we talk about that speed. And Skylar Howard, understanding his receivers, what they do best, trust Gibson to go out and make a play against really actually good coverage by Cotmoy down the field. Shelton Gibson, look at that. 53.7 average for the day.
You look at that total, 161. You wouldn't have thought that he would have bested his outing last year against the Cyclones. A season ago, 148 yards, a 60-yard touchdown catch. For this year, 3 grabs, 161, and 2 scores. Mitchell Harger. He's got his work cut out for him on special teams today. As the Cyclones get set on offense, we go back to Los Angeles and Mike Hill for a game break.
Battle for Paul Bunyan's Axe, but much more at stake for number 6 Wisconsin against Minnesota. Badgers already in the Big Ten title game, but trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. That's Dare Agumbawale, 8-yard score, putting the Badgers up 31-17 in the fourth. You're in control, fellas.
All righty, thank you, Mike. You know, Ben, we've talked about how little we've seen Lanning. Just for that one carry that was wiped away because of a penalty, it would have been a touchdown. But at this point, and it has been brewing in this direction, really, Matt Campbell has no choice but to play Jacob Park, with the score being what it is. As this time he finds Ryan, his first catch of the second half.
Well, no doubt. I mean, now it's, you have to rely on the arm of Jacob Park and his receivers. You're down 3 possessions and 3 scores in the fourth quarter. You just have to sling it out there. Hopefully you can catch a big play, get some momentum, and then hopefully either a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown.
Lazard, 4 grabs, had 3 for 96 in the first half. Has been held to just 1 catch since halftime. Montgomery, the fumble earlier. Able to get past midfield inside of West Virginia territory as he picks up 10 and a first down before Douglas rips him down to the grass.
Well, earlier in the game, we started the game with just a couple keys to this game. It's ball security really for both teams. We talk about those turnovers that West Virginia's had against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. But just as equal, playing at home, you need to take care of the football. It's 14 points off of turnovers for West Virginia, 2 fumbles for Iowa State. And that's really what's taken them out of this game and put them in a huge hole here in the fourth quarter.
Andre Daly can't get up on the play. The senior out of Florida will step aside.
Alexa, put Butterfly Birthday on my calendar for August 23rd.
Okay.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face.
The renaissance of the conference. What viewers can expect this season is the continuation of some great play.
Every game is important.
Scoop to the hoop. Terrific competition, exciting, up-tempo style.
Games that are very tense.
That high-octane offense.
This place goes crazy.
It's another fast and furious college season.
How good is it? Big East basketball. Tuesday at 6:30 on FS1.
Carson Palmer and the Cardinals clash with Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Or Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants battle the Browns. It all begins at 11 Eastern. And don't miss a full slate of games on Fox.
But then, one day you reach the summit. And you realize, the harder the climb, the better the reward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
Shark diving.
Xerox personalized employee portals help companies make benefits simple and accessible from anywhere.
Hula dancing? Cliff jumping.
Xerox Human Resource Services, soon to be Conduit.
Which allergy?
Trees.
Bees.
Trees.
Trees.
Xerox helps hospitals use electronic health records so doctors provide more personalized care.
Cheese.
Xerox Healthcare Services, soon to be Conduit.
FS1 College Football is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Happy to have you with us here tonight from Ames, Iowa. Really pretty pleasant day weather-wise, 55 degrees at kickoff. Of course, the wind going Texas Tech was down, the wind chill was down to 28, so this looked like paradise compared to 7 days ago here from Iowa. Things have cooled a little bit as the lights have turned on. 12:45 left to play. Iowa State in a huge hole. Ball is loose. Park trying to dive on top of it. West Virginia saying they've got it.
Looks like Wachuku on the bottom of the pile.
The Mountaineers come up with it. Noble Wachuku's had a strong second half.
Yeah, he really has, and you'll see just this is all on Jacob Park. Took his eyes off the ball, trying to get that little ride read play with David Montgomery. Just an undisciplined play by the young quarterback. And there you see the 3 turnovers for Iowa State, and more importantly for West Virginia on the road, 0 turnovers.
Lost fumbles on consecutive drives by the Cyclones. Of course, it was Montgomery after that long 45-yard run. 2 drives ago this time, Park. Howard hands it off to Elijah Wellman. The ball began to get exposed a little bit. He holds on to it, the flags are down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 99, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Burnell Trent. How about this day from Skyler Howard? We've talked about the oddity that is his passing line today. 10 completions for Howard, the senior quarterback out of Fort Worth. 10 completions, 4 of them for touchdowns, 301 yards.
Yeah, not real efficient when it comes to just pure completions, but they're effective, and they've been big plays, and they really have taken a lot of life out of this Iowa State defense, especially in the back end, an area which they pride themselves so much in is how well they play with Cotton Moya and Wiltz, Brian Peavy, and those guys in the back end have given up a lot of plays to Shelton Gibson and Karan White before he went out with an injury.
Petaway, who has emerged because of necessity because of the injury to Justin Crawford, injured himself very early in this game. A loss of 1. Petaway, his first career touchdown not long ago. First action all season coming here. Howard on 2nd and 11 to pass. Zips it complete down to the 5. This time finding Nikhil Shorts Jr. his 2nd catch in the game.
Well, a nice little banana route. Again, he starts on the inside, pushes it right to the inside part of the hash mark, and then kind of bananas back out to, there it is right there. So hard for a defender with inside leverage like that, and the speed of Nikhil Shorts and the precise route running. And once again, Skyler Howard, very accurate throwing the ball downfield.
Pass play of 25 yards, 1st and goal from the 5. Petaway trying to dance through a tackle. Take a look at the longest active streak in the FBS of at least 20 first downs. West Virginia's met that mark now for the 13th straight time. Washington State was the previous active leader, but losing yesterday in the Apple Cup. Dominating win by University of Washington. Second and goal, Petaway. They bootleg. Howard throwing. Touchdown, West Virginia. Trevon Wesco is able to reach up high, pulled it in. And that is the 5th passing touchdown from Skyler Howard.
Well, just a nice little swap boot.
I'm Erin, this is Ben, and we're partnering with Bank of America to bring you a winning recipe.
In this house, it's not game day without Mississippi pimento and cheese.
Mix a package of cream cheese, 2 cups of cheddar, and 1/3 cup of mayo with a jar of pimentos, garlic powder, and cayenne.
No matter how you serve it, it's gone by the end of the game. Here's another winning idea. With the Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, earn 2% cash back at grocery stores and now at wholesale clubs.
I thought we played a lot better offensively in the second half. We really controlled the tempo of the game in the second half on offense. So, Jalen did a really good job in the second half, and we did a better job of executing. That's what I told him at halftime, guys. Forget everything and just go out there and execute.
It worked. Alabama hasn't beaten Auburn 3 consecutive years since 1992. What does that say about the toughness of this team and specifically the senior class?
Well, I'm really proud of our...
Offers start now. Hurry in and save up to $10,000 on Titan XD.
Starting Black Friday, only Jared has this Pandora holiday gift set. 12 charms and clips, including the Jared exclusive Mrs. Santa Claus charm. All in a Pandora keepsake box. Save $225 on this Jared exclusive.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous!
This is ridiculous! Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
P is for permission to indulge. O is for out of this world. L is for loving the seasonal cuisine. A is for access to everything, including the aisle. R is for reclining in tailor-made bedding. And I must be dreaming. S, so long, jet lag. Polaris from United.
Time to get you caught up as to what's going on here tonight from Ames. Jacob Park has been on every snap in one of his 2-quarterback system. Over 300 yards, a career high, but no touchdown passes. How about Martell Petaway? His coming out party. First carries of the season because of the injury to Justin Crawford. All he has done is carve up this defense. Meanwhile, Skyler Howard having himself a day, 330 yards, 5 scores, including 2 to Shelton Gibson, 71 yards, and a much more humble 41 yards. This one right here. And then speaking of some unknowns, just finding Wesco, his first touchdown, his first catch of the season from 6 yards out, and it has meant a lot of push-ups for the Mountaineers here in Ames.
Feel the burn, push through. You can do it. That's a lot of push-ups. That's a lot.
Didn't look like they were going all the way down.
Oh, well, stop being so critical.
There's Harger once again. Ever since Nwangu brought it back 97 yards for a score, they have not kicked it deep. Now, some conflicting reports by those on the field. We'll see who comes up with it. Iowa State maintains. Three Iowa State turnovers today have led directly to 21 points for West Virginia.
What a tremendous job of just stripping that ball out. Iowa State once again lucky to fall on it and not commit their 4th turnover of the day.
First and 10 from the 34. The give to Montgomery. Trying to feel his way forward out towards the 40. Now, for those of you tuning in for the UFC Fight Night preview show, we'll get you there immediately after the conclusion of our game here in Iowa. In the meantime, if you're looking for that show, it's available on FS2 and streaming live on FS Go. A pickup of 5, second and 5 under 10 to play. Lazard, who's had a 4-catch, 100-yard effort so far this evening in motion. With time, a high throw to Lazard. He can't hold on. Tight cover once again, as it has just been one pass breakup after another. Maurice Fleming this time.
Let me just show you a little something about what makes these corners so good and this secondary so good. They are allowed to route progress, come off their coverage, and jump routes just like that. They want those 6 guys, that 3-3 front, to disrupt everything up front, and then they allow their corners with film study and preparation to jump routes and be aggressive and try to pick off passes.
Montgomery picks up a first down, is hit hard. Justin Arndt comes in. Noble Wachuku following the play as well, but a first down. Getting back to your point, now 10 passes broken up by the secondary of West Virginia.
Well, and you can see why. That they have such a great understanding, and that's a hard thing to do in college football with the time commitments with school and how limited you are in the facility to practice and to watch film. Such a good job by Tony Gibson and his defensive staff to educate these guys on what they're going to see from a route progression and from a route tree with the opposing teams, to allow their corners to jump routes, to be aggressive, to play with instinct. And that's the key as to why West Virginia's back end is so good.
A check down good for 9 to Montgomery. Brings up second and short, but a whistle. The makings of the best season for Dana Holgorsen since joining the Big 12.
36-yard line. The line to gain is the 35. It's second down.
Second and 1. Now in his 6th season, West Virginia getting to a bowl game 4 of the first 5 years under Holgorsen. With 1 yard to gain, they give it to Montgomery, picks up the first down. I think if you are Iowa State here, certainly that there was hope for a 3-game winning streak to end the season. That would have been their first 3-game winning streak since 1989, a chance to knock off a ranked opponent for the first time since 2012. But even with the score as it is, there are probably many around Ames who are hopeful for next season. A first year under Matt Campbell after coming over from Toledo. Park stepping up, and he steps right into trouble. He gets leveled by Darian Howard. The loss of 3.
Well, and I agree with you that there was so much hope and optimism when he was hired from Toledo, and that kind of hit a little bit of a trough at the beginning of the year because they didn't start off very good. It wasn't very clean. Fans didn't understand what this offense was supposed to look like. And then as the season's gone on, you start hearing the same message from the coach to the players and the media. And then you start seeing some of that production, that success on the field. Everybody's truly believing in what he's saying. See, Jacob Park is very animated trying to get the play again. This is the 4th time now this game. There a lot of communication issues for Iowa State.
Yeah, you're right. Twice in the first half, second time in the second half. Clock stopped at 7:23 to play.
Alexa, put Butterfly birthday on my calendar for August 23rd.
Okay.
Howard used to love life.
He lost his child, and now he doesn't care if he loses everything else.
He writes letters to love, time, and death. Who did you write the letter to?
I wrote the letter to death.
Nice to meet you. Charmed, I'm sure.
You don't think I'm crazy, but I'm having conversations.
Something's starting to happen to you. This profound connection to everything.
Will Smith, Collateral Beauty, rated PG-13.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face.
It's the top-ranked contenders fighting for a title. It's the crosstown rivals that will never back down. It's about to go down. It's the crowd roaring. It's your heart pounding. That is the one. It's each juke, each down, each drive that makes college football yours. Rule every Saturday, college football on Fox and FS1.
People magazine says your sides will be 4 from laughing at Son of Zorn.
I am Zorn, defender of sanitation solutions. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Watch anytime on these platforms.
For the first time, a woman has taken the mound in a Major League Baseball game.
If you missed an episode of Pitch, watch anytime on Fox Now.
I am inspiring America. I'm not trying to be relatable. I'm elevatable.
Colin, you're on fire.
I may have just changed the entire world.
FS1 College Football is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Fourth quarter here from Ames inside Jack Trice Stadium. Dana Holgerson of the Mountaineers, number 18 team of the country, coming in dropping 49 points. Second and 13. Park gets rid of it to the 30 and met right away. Nothing after the catch. This time finding Deshaunte Jones, his 5th catch of the game. We were talking earlier about some optimism for the Cyclones team that will end the season 3-9. Think about where they began. The opener, they lose to Northern Iowa by 5 points, then get absolutely throttled by, at the time, number 16 Iowa. Weren't even competitive. A loss then at TCU before their first win against San Jose State. Winners of back-to-back games now for the first time since 2013. High throw, interception. Right through the hands of his intended target. And Rasul Douglas now with his 8th interception on the season. Tavares McFadden of Florida State leading the nation with 8 entering today.
Well, it's just a high velocity throw. Not only a little high and away from Marchie Murdoch, but also just a lot of zip on that short throw. Couldn't come down with it. 4 turnovers now for Iowa State. And we've seen a number of throws like that from Jacob Park where it's just been a little bit too high. I understand that when you're going to throw into double coverage with Al Lazard, you got to throw that ball up. But too many times today where he's been errant, overthrowing receivers, that's always dangerous. The tip drill comes into play as a defensive back, and that's what happened there for West Virginia.
And with under 7 to play and a blowout, Chris Chugunov, the freshman out of New Jersey, is in the game at quarterback. And why not? Hand to Petaway. Chugunov just 1 for 3 on the season. A redshirt freshman enrolled early at West Virginia. What a day for Skyler Howard.
Well, what's the one thing that Dana Holgerson said to us about Chris Chugunov? Like, he's not going to run. he is a pocket passer. He is not going to run. So I don't expect any sort of quarterback run game with him. It's going to be all Martell Petaway from here on out.
That's exactly what happens here. Petaway smothered. What a day offensively for this West Virginia team. Of course, they churned up yard after yard last week in a loss to Oklahoma, 579, and they have topped 600 total yards here today in Iowa.
Well, at least they have the points this time to show for it. I mean, it's kind of been the theme throughout the whole season. Is a lot of yardage, not a lot of points. That came up again last week. Talked about the 2 fumbles inside the 5-yard line. Could have been a huge difference maker in the game. But at least this time, they have all the requisite yardage to match the points. Very efficient, not only running the football, but also throwing for big plays.
We take a look at the night from Petaway. Did not have a carry entering today. Justin Crawford, who had averaged 8 yards a carry, one of the best in the nation in that category, injured early. It opened the door for Petaway, and has he ever capitalized? Petaway, 28 carries, $179, and his first career touchdown.
Well, and what's impressive to me is he's 4th on the depth chart, yet he comes in and there's no hesitation. There's no bright light situation. He just steps up and continues to do what every running back in that room does, and that's produce. So what a tremendous